Need to know. This is actually a little better for you, right? An hour later. Whew. Let's get some smudgies going. Good morning. Hi, Anna. Hi, Denise. Hey, Jen. Hey, April. Hi, Dorinda. All right. Perfect. I have a coffee from not my home this morning. Good morning, Jackie. Good morning. Hi, Jessica. Hey, Michelle. Yeah, it was mad dash this morning. But I stopped by Elementary Coffee and got myself one of those abacus lattes, and I'm not sad about it. I'm gonna be hopped up though because I got the big one instead of the small one. So, hey Sarah, hey Kate. Good morning, Nara. Good morning, Ricky. Hey Karen. Yeah, wow. Hey Catherine. What a week this is and continues to be. Holy moly. Let me clear my glasses off. Hey Rose. Hey Carrie. Hey Nancy. Hey Megan. Good morning, Edith. Hi Cliff Dog. Yeah, it's just exactly 9 now. So I'm gonna just give people a minute. Hey Janine. Hey Todd. Janelle says that she's been doubling her water intake and whispering in it. She's feeling good. I'm glad. Hey Freddie. Kate says I feel fire energy. Well, our full moon is peaking on Wednesday of next week, and it is in the sign of Leo. So there is fire. There be fire. Good morning. Happy Friday. Hey Vaughn. Hey Cassie. Whew, you guys. And you know how we were talking on Wednesday about body stuff and how your body's just acting so strange. Um, I know you are. Jen was saying this morning that her body last night was feeling crazy. But I got my period this morning, and that was not correct. That's not correct. Fire like hubba hubba. Fire like hubba. Oh, sexy fire. Is that what you're talking about? Is that what hubba hubba means? Cassie says anxiety, massive amounts. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely possible. My lips are dry. All right. Well, okay. So we've been in this week all week long, and it really has been quite a has been quite a week. And I'm going to tell you a story this morning because some crazy shit happened to me last night that just about sums up how like game on uh, it is right now with this energy. And then we will get to sensory card pulls. So if you've never joined us for Coffee and Magic before, welcome. I'm glad you're here. I'm gonna tell you a little story, and then we're gonna do sensory card pulls where I'll give you 3 things to choose from, and you pick what resonates most with you, and then you'll get a little reading based on what you've picked to assist you and support you on your journey. So we'll do that, and we'll probably have a collective card at the end too, for from one of these decks that I have. I don't know which one yet. So anyway, hey Cindy, hey Danny, hi Ellie. Why don't you guys do something with me? I need your assistance. Let's take just a moment and pull all of our energy in and connect because I feel a little spacey this right now and I just need to come back in. So if you can, like if you're driving, obviously don't do this, but just go ahead and close your eyes. Drop your shoulders down away from your ears and soften your belly. It is crows. And take a nice deep breath in through your nose and exhale from your mouth. Deep breath in and out. And one more time, deep breath in and out. Taking a moment now to call all of your energy back into your body, calling your energy in from the past and the future, bringing your energy in through your heart center as you breathe in. And as you exhale, allowing your energy to reintegrate into your body, allowing you to be here in this present moment. All right, it's better for me. Is that better for you? Hey, Valerie. Hi, Victoria. Yeah, there's crows behind me making a racket. Well, they got quiet. No, no, no. They were making a racket. All right. So last night I went out to dinner with Jen and Megan, and we were having a really great time sitting at the bar, just doing Thursday night things. And it was towards the end of our night, and this middle-aged white gentleman, who I think had come in, like when he had come in earlier in the evening, he had said something to Megan. Like, I don't know. I don't remember. But anyway, he was exiting and like stopped and came back and started talking to us. And he started off a conversation um, with like kind of like this riddler energy. He's like, oh, I know some things about eye color. And he was talking to Jen about her eye color. And like, he's like, basically trying to make it seem like he had this really fascinating like parlor trick to show us, talking about eye color and how it's like, oh, your eyes are like this color, so you have Viking blood and Nordic blood and whatever, what have you. So whatever, we're sitting there and he's sharing this information, but out of nowhere it takes this like complete left turn, and he begins to start talking to us about being gay and how he is, a conservative Republican Christian, but that he wonders if we understand, what why being gay gives us a better understanding that heterosexual couples don't have. And he was just going on and on and on with this like very bizarre rhetoric, and said a few things like I don't even know, like I'm still kind of reeling from this one, so the details may be shoddy. And so like Jen and Megan, if you want to chime in, feel free with details. But he was basically saying that he's an ally by asking us if we know why we have a better perspective on certain things than a heterosexual couple would, and that even though that he's Christian, and God made us and God doesn't make mistakes, and he truly believes that while some gay people can be normal, other gay people have no choice. They have to be what they are. And I was sitting there and listening to him, and I felt this like thing in my belly. And historically in like my life, generally speaking, like I'm not an argumentative person, especially with strange men in a bar. Like I'm not really that person. I you just say what the hell you want and please leave without killing me is kind of where it goes. Um, but last night, like I don't know, something just like whoop inside of me, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And I don't even remember everything I said. I don't know what's going on. Like my brain is exiting the building, but I handed him his ass, is what I believe happened. And I remember reaching out and touching his arm, and I said, "Listen, I love that you are, trying to have these conversations and trying to reach common ground with people. But I said, do you consider yourself, a heterosexual man?" And he said, "Yes." And I said, "So if you are not a gay person, you can't come here and talk to gay people about their experience because you aren't that." And I said, "I love that you're curious. I love that you want to learn things. But in the future, I would suggest that when you approach a table of women, you don't approach them and try to tell them about themselves and say, pop quiz, here's, answer my questions, but come at it with humility and ask questions and stay curious." And he kind of like doubled back on himself and he was like, "Well, I'd like to apologize if that was your perception." And I was like, "No, that's not my perception. That's what you did." And I will say that like the bartender and waitress and everything at the place where we were amazing. Like they were watching, they were checking in, they were like, "Do you need us to get him out of here?" But it was just like this really bizarre thing. And there are a few key points that I want to kind of process through about this. One of them is that three women are sitting, minding their own business, having a good time, and a man sees these women and decides that he's going to interject himself into their conversation without an invitation. And us three women allowed that interruption into our private space. That's the first thing. And we talk about this a lot, right? Because you would think like, "Oh, why would I just let somebody just come interrupt my time with my friends?" But here's the thing, with women and with a man coming into the scene, there is this freeze response that happens because as a woman in a bar especially, you just don't want to die. And if you upset a man, if you rake his ego the wrong way, you could be in danger. You could be in danger on the back end of it. You could make him mad by rejecting his advances, and he might be waiting for you outside, right? Like you don't know. So it makes so much more sense to just smile and entertain him and say, like, "I hope that you are finished soon so I can get on with my life," right? That's a response we have so that we don't die, guys. So it's like you don't have to feel bad about that response. But I witnessed that in like all three of us last night, right? There was why was he there that long, right? Like why wasn't our initial response like, "Get the fuck out of here, you weirdo?" But this is important to notice, right? To realize that, hey, I don't think any woman in the history of being a woman has been sitting in a bar where some creepy dude, some creepy weirdo comes up and starts talking to her, and he actually wants like to engage with him. Like that's never happened, right? Ever in the history of ever. But it does happen all the time that it appears that a woman is entertaining a man because she doesn't want to fucking die. Okay? And I really appreciated the bar staff at McGrath's. That's where we were. Because every time we've been there, I noticed that we are being watched by the staff. Like, are you comfortable? Is this person bothering you? Like they're really on top of that. And all places should be that. And yes, he did. He touched Jen first. And I noticed that immediately because he like reached his hand out and just like put it on her arm. And I'm like, I know my friend. And I know that as soon as he touched her, even though she looked totally fine, total freeze, total freeze response. Okay. Because you might think, like, "Oh, I'm just touching somebody. It's no big deal." You're a strange man. You don't know me. Why are you touching me? Right? That's assault. But no, no, no. I'm being friendly. I'm just here to have a conversation and share with you my wealth of knowledge about how you're not actually going to hell because you can't help that you're gay and Jesus loves everybody, you know? Anyhow, it was a big night for that, but that was the first one. The second was the audacity, the audacity of this man to think that we would be at all interested in anything that he has to say, to think that we would actually be sitting there feeling bad about our gayness and needing somebody to validate that we're okay and that we do bring value and that there's things that we can teach straight people. Why would we give a shit, right? And the third thing is that after this man left, it was really clear in the bar that he was the only person who thought that he made sense. Okay? Nobody else was in that energy. And I think that was really important for me to realize too. Like I've never had the experience, and this I have like 8,000 points this morning, but I've never had that experience because I'm 38 years old, and for like 37 and a quarter years of that time, I've identified as a straight woman, a heterosexual woman, and married for most of that time. So I don't have I don't have that as my experience of being like profiled as a queer person and then like kind of bashed or treated other because of it. So because I don't have that in me, I don't have that program, I've never experienced it. Um, it really fucking pissed me off. Like, it just like I just couldn't believe it. Like, I couldn't believe that this person would think that his opinion would matter to anybody at this table, right? So, I say all that to say, like, men are showing up and showing themselves out, you know? And it's really important to speak. Yesterday, when I woke up, I pulled a card from the chakra deck, which I don't have. Obviously, it's not mine. But it was a throat chakra card, and it was about unblocking your throat chakra and speaking your truth. And last night I did. I didn't. I maybe hesitated because I wish I had done it like sooner and saved us 15 to 20 minutes of dumb shit. But I did not hesitate to speak. I was pretty kind, but I was clear and I was firm, and I said all the things I wanted to say. And in my life, in the past month or so, I have had experiences where I find myself in really stressful emotional situations that would normally shut down my ability to say the things I want to say because of heightened emotion or feeling unsafe. And each time I'm confronted with those situations, I've been able to say what I want to say and come out of a situation feeling very sovereign and very powerful and very much myself. And I share that with you because this is why we're doing our work. This is why we are healing ourselves. This is why we're going back and looking at our programs and saying, okay, I don't want this program anymore. I'm rewiring it. This is why we're doing it. So that when some psycho, some bigot, some asshole walks up to you and says something, you can pull yourself out of that program of freeze and instead serve him exactly what he needs to hear. Maybe he'll think differently next time he sees a group of women that, he believes he should impart his wisdom upon. I don't know. I don't really give a shit. But all I know is that I'm not in that energy anymore where I'm ever going to let anybody tell me anything about myself and just accept it. I'm not going to do that anymore. And that feels amazing. It feels like exhausting because this this year, which has been like a month and change right now, has been relentless. And I've been telling my people all the time, like it feels like I can't get 8 consecutive hours of a break, like even to integrate anything or have a rest. And I am so tired, you guys. Like when I say I'm tired, I mean like my every cell in my body just wants to rest. But there is a driving energy that says it's not time to rest. In fact, it's time to go bigger and go harder and go faster. And I am somehow finding that energy to keep going and to stay in alignment and to keep creating because it's that time. There's no rest time right now. We are changing the world by changing our behaviors and our reaction to the different stimulus, right? These are all growth spirals. And when you change the way you react to them, you change the energy that goes out into the world. And we will change the whole world by changing the way we experience it. And I really, really invite you as we move into this 22 portal that's coming up really soon to really think about that for yourself and like where in your life, where in your world can you speak more truth? Can you look at your behaviors that keep you small and keep you scared and keep you feeling like nobody would want to hear your opinion anyway? Can you push through those places and talk, speak from your heart? Can you do that? Can you take anger and take that energy and move it into creation energy? Can you do that? Right? And I know you can. Um, it's just really important right now. I have no doubt that last night was completely orchestrated by my team because it felt like such a clear test. Like, okay, you've been talking about dismantling the patriarchy. This is why we're doing it. We're dismantling the patriarchy because it is so deeply embedded in our systems, in all of our systems, that sometimes we don't even know when we're supporting patriarchal thought forms and constructs because they're so deep within us. And by looking at those things and moving them out, we're changing it and we're weakening it. And you can see it in the way that those who benefit most from the patriarchal system are freaking the fuck out and really acting poorly, like little toddlers having tantrums because you took away their favorite toy. Because without patriarchy, what do they have, right? They can't really see where they are going to belong because we don't need that energy anymore. So it's time to evolve or go extinct. And that's an energy that's very clear right now. So it's a thing. It's really a thing. Um, I wanted to just remind you that on the 22nd of February, I'm going to be having a really special event. I'm going to be debuting something that I'm not going to tell you about here, but it's a meditation type of thing. We're going to connect together and really get into that 22 portal energy. It's going to be a Tuesday. It's Tuesday, 2/2/2/2/2/2/2, and it's at 6 p.m. I'm going to be posting information on that. This will be free to Inner Sanctum members, and then I'm going to do a very low ticket price for everybody else if you'd like to join. So I'll be posting that sometime today, and you can sign up. But it's big. It's a big deal, and I'm excited for what we're going to do and how we're going to change the way that all of this is working, the whole world, just by one little bit at a time. So this coffee is really strong. All right. So anyway, that's story time. That's story time. For those of you, oh man, Rebecca. Well, I mean, it's going to be recorded, so if you can't make it live, like you can watch it after. I'll get it. I'll get you there. I'll get you there. All right. I've literally been waving my hand in love since Wednesday coffee and coaching. Oh, babe. I know Wednesday coffee and coaching has become my favorite thing. So I'm happy that you're enjoying it too. All right, let's shift gears into sensory card pulls. And Janelle is suggesting different types of wood. I don't know. Let me think about it. Hey, Susan, you're late. You missed story time. You'll have to catch the other one. Let me think about it. All right, we're not doing wood. I don't feel like I don't feel like that the wood thing. I'm going to do three different words, okay? And I want you to listen to the word. Like don't worry about what it means necessarily, but hear the way the word sounds and maybe say it out loud before you choose which one, okay? So three words. Incandescent, enchanted, illuminated. incandescent, enchanted, illuminated. I'm typing it there for you. Incandescent, enchanted, illuminated. Put the word that feels most aligned with you this morning. Drop it in the comments. Ooh, look at you, Anna. You usually pick all three, but you're going with incandescent. The choices are incandescent, enchanted, or illuminated. And I will be pulling from my favorite oracle deck for these purposes, The Wisdom of Avalon by Colette Baron Reed. Again, you're choosing from 3 different words. Really taste the words and see which one really resonates with you this morning. Incandescent, enchanted, or illuminated. And just a quick reminder for those of you who are watching on TikTok or Instagram, if you're enjoying, please share, because it really helps me if you share my live videos and all the things. All right, I'm actually, I feel like a little bit of all 3 will be something for me this morning, so I'm just going to go with all 3. But I feel a heavier lean towards incandescent. So again, we've got incandescent, enchanted, or illuminated. Thank you, Chrissy. All right. I feel like I want to do it this opposite way too. Is that weird? I've never done that before. My cards want me to shuffle them the opposite way. All great words entering into the weekend. Think they'll be nice? The cards? I don't know. They do sound like good names for Disney movies. You're right. All right. Last call, guys, to make your choices. Your choices are incandescent, enchanted, or illuminated. Okay? You ready? Incandescent people. Somebody just popped in my TikTok room and was like, I heard there was divination going on in here. Get the hell out of here. All right. Those of you who chose incandescent, here's your story. You've got the forgiveness card. You've got the eagle. You've got the risk card. So this should be fascinating. I'm gonna keep the eagle here. We'll talk about him in a second. But first, let's talk about risk and forgiveness. Rebecca's already rolling her eyes. Good morning. Forgiveness is a tricky one, right? Because for a lot of us, when we think about forgiving somebody for something that they've done, we're like, if I forgive them, does that, take them off the hook? And will they not have to pay for what they've done? Will there be no consequences? And I would posit for you that when you hold on to grudges or hold on to any energy where you feel like you need to hold on to it to prove a point to another person, the only person that you are proving a point to is yourself. Okay. The other person is probably very unaware of your issues and is not being affected by you holding on to that really unhealthy, toxic energy. Forgiveness allows you to cut the cord between you and an event that is energetically draining you and pulling you into a past timeline. Okay. There's no room for that right now, for that heaviness of being dragged into something that you just no longer need to be a part of. It is not your job to be the judge and jury for other people's karmic debts. When somebody does something, that is on them. Okay. When you hold on to it for yourself and think, I have to hold on to this because they have to learn a lesson, that's you stepping out of your sovereignty and messing with theirs. Freddie, the choices are incandescent, enchanted, and illuminated. And this is incandescent. We have forgiveness, risk, and the eagle. So if you chose incandescent and it's resonating with you, I would ask you to really, especially like this is the time, like do it now. um, I would really ask you to look at the places in your life that you are holding on to energy for other people, okay? In the conceptual hope that they're going to learn a lesson or somehow write it for you or whatever, that somehow you letting go is like them winning. This isn't a game. It isn't a game at all. This is you creating restriction and creating pain and toxicity for yourself that does not affect the other person. So, any place in your life that you are giving yourself grief, thinking that you are doing it for the greater good, you probably need to knock that off because you're not. Everybody is in charge of their own shit. You're in charge of yours. And it's now your job to let go. Okay. You also have the risk card. And, you know, this card's been coming up because everything feels a little risky these days, unless you've already moved past that particular threshold and you're desensitized to risk, like some of us have gotten. But it's hard to step into an unknown when you've been used to staying in a box that is fear based, sure, but feels safe to you because it's small. When you move from something that's very small and contained and you're being shown something that's big and wild and seems very uncertain and chaotic, of course your instincts are going to say like that's not safe for me, that's too risky, I'm not going to do that. If you don't take a risk, you'll never experience something new. So it's time. You also have the eagle. And if you've ever seen an eagle in person, just ask yourself if you've seen how many of you have seen an eagle in person, either like flying above you or like off in a tree or like whatever. If you've ever seen an eagle, you know that when you see that bird, it evokes an emotion inside of you, right? Like it's not just a casual like, oh, there's an eagle. You probably text a bunch of people, right? Or like you're like, whoa, it's an eagle. And it makes you feel an emotion. Whatever that emotion is that seeing an eagle gives to you, that's your message with this card. What is it that you feel when you see that eagle? What place in your body do you feel it? And that's your message, okay? I know for me when I see an eagle, I feel it like I feel it in my heart and in my gut. And I feel really in awe. I always am I pause and I'm like, wow, I can't believe that exists and just like is flying around in the sky. Like that is gorgeous. It is majestic. It is powerful. And it takes me out of whatever human thing I'm involved in and reminds me of how big the world is and how magical the world is and how I'm a part of that too. I'm just as magical as that eagle. You're just as magical as that eagle. Some people look at you and you're an eagle to them, right? So feel that for yourself. I know things are really a lot right now and they can be scary and feel very risky. And letting go seems like the hardest thing, but this is what you are moving into, this big, majestic, soaring eagle energy. Okay, so that is your incandescent message. The second one is enchanted. So we're going to shuffle for enchanted next. Yeah, I mean, there's usually a little something in each of them for people. So whatever feels most aligned with you this morning, just go with it. Oh, hey, Emily. All right. Enchanted. You ready? All right. Here comes your enchanted message. Different cards, but you're going to laugh. You're going to laugh for sure. All right, you ready? This is enchanted. Letting go. Fear. Partnership. So this actually, I mean, while it's a similar energy to the first incandescent, this is a little more specific. So if you chose enchanted, this is going to be more specific, and it's actually about it's about your relationships. Okay, so there's okay, how do I say this? Okay, here's you doing life, and you've had all these experiences with different people in your life, with your parents, with your girlfriends or boyfriends, with your friends. And each and every one of these relationship experiences has taught you something. Okay. However, you've only received the lesson through a very specific filter. And because you only received the lesson through the specific filter, there are other bits and pieces of it that you've missed. So let's say like you were in a relationship with somebody, and that person was really poor at communicating. You feel like they were really poor at communicating, or they did something to hurt you, maybe like they cheated on you, or like whatever. There was some sort of breach of trust. And the way that you filtered the information in that experience was that there's something wrong with me that made this person betray me. Okay. And you've taken that into every single relationship that you've ever had, like from your parents onward. It's like there's something wrong with me that made this not good thing happen. And here's the tricky part with that. Because you believe that and you keep saying it in your brain over and over again, like I'm the common denominator that these bad things keep happening to me. Every time you connect in a new type of relationship, be it a friendship, romantic, whatever it is, you're bringing that filter with you again, and you are manifesting that energy because you're literally calling it in, right? So even if the person that you've met, like, isn't at all that way, you're bringing that energy to the relationship because you believe there's something wrong with you that will make this happen. And even if it's not happening, you're going to make it happen because you need your theories to be proven correct, even if they hurt you. Okay. So that's here. Boom, 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 boom. All these relationships in life, yada, yada, yada. Now, here we are in this present moment. And you are being asked to let go of that filter so that you can actually see the relationships that you're in, and you can actually see you as a sovereign individual being and the other person as a sovereign individual being, and see them for what they actually are and for who you actually are. You're being asked to let go of the program, basically, that tells you that you're the problem and that you're always going to have a bad experience because you always do. If you say, I always have a bad experience, you're going to continue to have that experience. I promise you. There is not a scenario in which you saying that does not end up with you experiencing it because you are that powerful. So if you don't let go of that, you're going to fuck shit up and you're not going to be happy because you're not happy with the way that feels anymore. Okay? Partnership and fear. I mean, we basically talked about it already, but you're scared. That's all. You're scared because you know you've been learning, you've been figuring stuff out. You know that if you are not the problem, you are the solution. And that feels like a lot of responsibility. That means you have to show up into your new relationships. Correct. You have to put in the work. You have to try. You have to communicate. You have to change behavior patterns because now you know that you can actually have some sovereignty here and you can have a different experience. You just have to change the way that you're navigating it. This is your choice. And it's right here, right now. This isn't a future thing. This is right here, right now. This is every relationship that you're currently involved in. I don't care if it's a relationship that you've been in for 20 years, it's like your parent, or if it's a brand new one, it's the same thing. You can enter that with your new energy and you can shift it all. Okay. You have that ability. It's scary. Everything's fucking scary. Get over it at this point because there's no coddling left. I have no coddling left for you about how things are scary and they're scary, so we're not doing them. That's like 2 years ago's message. Like, we don't have time for it anymore. Like, is it scary? Yes, go do it. I got nothing. I'm scared too, but we're doing it. So either you do it or you don't. If you don't, please don't complain when you're not happy with what's happening. Right? That's it. Sovereign being, you're making your choices. So that is your enchanted message. And then next is illuminated. That was intense. I see a lot of exploding head emojis. Happy Friday. All right. Oh my God. So like this coffee has, I think, 4 shots of espresso in it, and I'm a 1 regular cup of coffee a day type of person, and so I'm really feeling it. Okay. Rebecca says, let's see if I can get called out 3 times. I don't know. Let's see. All right, illuminated people. Illuminated. I'm sorry. Like, I literally just got my period like 45 minutes ago. So you'll have to forgive me if I'm a little edgy. All right. Illuminated. Ready? Ready or not? Oh my Lord Almighty. Okay. Okay. This is the different energy. Okay. One would argue I'm extra fabulous today, actually, right? Okay. It is fire. All right. So, serpent, queen, lady of the lake. That's some big, big, sovereign, powerful feminine energy. Okay. This is a big one. Listen, 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 Linda. Okay. Listen, even if you didn't choose illuminated, this is a card that's going to probably resonate with you. If you didn't choose this card, though, it's still going to resonate with you, but I will remind you that you have a job to do in order to access this energy. Okay? If you didn't choose this card, You have a job to do to access this energy, and it's already been told to you. Release programming that is messing up your joy. Practice forgiveness. So I'm just reminding you of that. This is here for you. You just have something you need to do in order to access this energy. Now, here is the story with this. We're going to start with the serpent. The serpent is all about knowledge and healing, but this particular serpent wants to remind you of something. It wants to remind you of perception and stories, and to remind you that all the stories, all the stories we know, all the stories that are built into the cells of our body about who we are and why we are, and our deficiencies and our weaknesses and our proclivities and so forth, so on. That's all been written by a man. Men, not by women. We're going to write our story now. Women are going to write their own story now. So you can release all of the stories that have been written before. You can let them go because they're not your stories, and they never have been. Not once. These are stories that become prisons for us, that we stay inside, gilded cages, safety nets, houses with locks on the outside. And as we begin to unravel these stories and realize that we did not write these stories, they are not our stories, we begin to write new ones. And that is our job right now, to realize the stories that are not for us, they're not our truth, and to begin rewriting them. And you rewrite them by living them. Okay? So the serpent is here to remind you that this is your sacred task right now. Now, we have the Lady of the Lake. And this is very important energy. Okay? She doesn't show up until you're ready to cross the threshold. She doesn't show up until you're ready to see what has been hidden from you, what is beyond the mist. You've reached a place in your growth, in your learning, in your deprogramming, where you're ready to see what was formerly unseen. You're ready to see pure truth. You're ready to see the secrets. You're ready to read the stories written by the other women. You're ready for all of that. And she is here to help you. But in order to do that, in order to step into that, you have to respect yourself. You have to believe in yourself. And you have to move from this strong heart center and move in absolute truth and sincerity as a person. There is no way that you can do this by not tapping into that energy, because you won't be able to. You have to respect yourself. You have to trust yourself and really be in your heart center. Now, you also have the Queen. And the Queen is here to remind you that other women are not your enemy. They never have been. It's been the most devious and clever of tricks to turn women against each other, because our magic is so powerful that when we turn our magic against each other, we do an amazing job of obliterating ourselves and making ourselves small and easy to be manipulated. Other women are not your enemy at all. Your enemy is patriarchy. It's not men. Men aren't your enemy. It's a system that pits women against women and doesn't allow men to access their emotions and doesn't allow women to step into their power and truth. That's the enemy. But you are being asked now to bring women closer to you, to reach out and gather in your women, your sisters, okay? And brothers and sisters, actually, and start to really connect and heal in that way. And With most of my messages, I do try to be, well, I'll say I attempt to not be exclusive, but this is a message very much geared toward women, like those who identify as women, because this is something that needs healing, and I'm addressing that specifically. Okay. So, big energy this weekend. That's going to continue to get bigger and bigger. It's going to feel better next week when we hit the full moon in Leo because the fire is going to burn off some of the heaviness. Okay. So we'll look forward to that, to having that fire burn off some of the heaviness. But this isn't slowing down like at all. So take care of your body, take care of your heart, release the things that you don't need anymore. And for fuck's sake, speak. Say what you need to say, okay? At all costs, because we don't have time anymore to freeze and fawn, okay? So, anyway, happy Friday. I know that was a lot. Reminder, we're having the 2-2 portal event on 2/2/2. It's a Tuesday. I'll be sending out information for that today. And I love you guys. Thank you for being here. I've got some big shit in store and it's coming soon. And I'm excited to share this next phase of my journey with you guys and take you with me on this ride because what's coming next is big because we're big now. So I hope you have an amazing weekend. If you have enjoyed hanging out with me, please share the videos. If you see my posts, just like and share. It helps me so much to move through that algorithm. Um, there's no collective card. I thought there was going to be, but nope, that was the last one. So I love you. I'll be back on Monday with Coffee and Magic and have an amazing weekend. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Talk to you soon. Bye, TikTok.